is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Minnesota.
And twice he's answered with home runs. Last night, it was the game winner in the opener against the Rays. Then it was Miguel Sano's blast to left that added the insurance the Twins needed heading into the final frame. Tonight, they look to follow up that 6-2 win with another strong showing in Game 2 as the series continues in St. Pete. On the mound for the Twins, it's Jose Barrios going for his second straight win since being recalled from AAA. He'll square off against righty Chris Archer, whose 15 losses is the most in Major League Baseball. Welcome to Tropicana Field, everybody. I'm Audra Martin. After an offensive explosion in Cleveland, the bats were a bit slower to get going last night with just 4 hits in the first 6 innings. That was until home runs from Eddie Rosario and Miguel Sano got things going for a late inning rally. But those 2 blasts bring the Twins total to 12 home runs in August, the most in Major League Baseball. And if you go back to June 26th, they hold the same distinction. It's a far cry from where this team was in the first months of the season when they were in the bottom 6. That's a very welcoming surprise to Paul Molitor.
You know, we have some guys that can hit over the fence, and we've been doing it a little bit more frequently here the last 5-6 weeks. But and it's a welcome thing for a manager. I mean, you look for some way to put runs on the board each and every game. But, you know, we have athletic players too, guys that can run and guys that can spray the ball around and run the bases. So, you know, you'll take the home runs, but I think overall a consistent offense in terms of some of the other things probably plays over the long season, but they can come in bunches, and we've been doing that lately.
Coming up, a deeper look at tonight's matchup. Dick Bramer and Bert Blyleven talk Barrios and Archer next on Fox Sports North.
Minnesota will hand the ball tonight to rookie Jose Barrios.
Swing and a miss. Across the letters. And there is strike three. Jose Barrios has strikeout ability. He'll make the start tonight for the Twins in Game 2 with the Tampa Bay Rays. His mound opponent, Chris Archer, has strikeout ability. Second in the American League, just a few behind Justin Verlander. And we welcome you to Tropicana Field. Dick Bramer and Burt Blyleven with you for Game 2. You write out the lineup and you say Chris Archer, one of the most highly regarded right-handers in the league. He's got 15 losses already this year, but don't let that fool you. He's an awfully good pitcher.
Yeah, and he's pitched very well against the Minnesota Twins over his career. For Chris Archer, 5-15, very good earned run average. He has not had a lot of run support, but his last 3 starts have been very consistent. See the good earned run average, 25 strikeouts. This guy is a strikeout pitcher. You know what? He's going to come right at the Twins with a good fastball and a nasty slider. Maybe one of the nastiest sliders in either league. For the Twins, it will be Barrios. Barrios coming off that win in Cleveland. He won 12-5. Now he gave up some runs in the first inning, but he settled down nicely. 6 very good innings, no walks, 5 strikeouts in that ballgame. Looking for his 3rd win, his first career appearance against the Rays.
Twins, of course, had a winning month of July. They're off to a great start in the month of August. They're playing particularly well on the road, and they hope all those trends continue tonight in Game 2. Twins winning 19 of their last 30 games going back to July 2nd. It's been a lot more fun to watch for, I think, the viewers, but also for the manager, Paul Molitor.
Again, a lot of young kids getting that opportunity and some of them producing.
The Menards batting order for the Twins in Game 2. Brian Dozier leading off. Then Joe Mauer, Max Kepler, Miguel Sano, the designated hitter, Eddie Rosario getting center field. Byron Buxton will start this game on the bench. Eduardo Escobar, Jorge Polanco, Kurt Suzuki, and Danny Santana.
And on the mound, it'll be Chris Archer. Archer making his first his first start this season against the Twins. His 6th career start. Very good numbers, 4-1 with a 1.78 earned run average against the Twins. Looking for just his 6th win of the year.
Dozier takes up high. You see the 1-loss record, 5 wins, 15 losses after tonight. He might have as many as 10 starts left, certainly 9 more if he stays healthy. So there's a chance he might lose 20 games, even though he's considered to be one of the better pitchers in the league.
You see that high fastball right there? That has really been an issue here for Archer. Really trying to concentrate on keeping that good time, that fastball, sometimes overpowering, down in the strike zone. Just
and
like that. It'll be Bobby Wilson's job to try to keep him down in the strike zone.
Phil Cuzzy calling balls and strikes. Scott Berry, Adam Hammery, and Tom Hallion on the bases.
Nasty slider. Archer, that's his out pitch.
Up high with a fastball again. 3-1 to Dozier. Walks have been part of the problem for Archer. 52 walks in 137 2/3 innings. Home runs also have been a problem. 22 in 137 2/3. There's a ball fouled off of Dozier's leg. 3-2.
Yeah, the 22 home runs, 16 solo home runs, 6 two-run home runs. So he hasn't been hurt that bad by the home runs as far as giving up a 3-run home run or even a grand slam. But yeah, he's been a little very inconsistent. Just lack of run support at times too. But his last 3 starts very good.
Full count to Dozier. And the slider got him. One down.
A nasty slider. Well, he'll challenge you with that fastball, but when it comes to a strikeout, the tight break, almost a downward type slider.
Northland Ford defense for the Rays. Nick Franklin in left. Kevin Kiermaier as good as they get in center. Steven Souza Jr. in right. Longoria, Miller, Forsythe, Beckham around the infield, and reacquired Bobby Wilson behind the plate. One down. Here's Mauer. Man, is he having a great road trip. 14 hits, 22 at bats, and he's hitting over 400 now here in this ballpark. 2 more hits last night, and the average up to 282. And a fastball back down around the knees. 1-1.
You know, you only see the Rays maybe 6-7 times a year, so not a lot of at-bats against Chris Archer. Joe Mauer, 3 hits and 9 at-bats.
2-1. Now the Rays came to Minnesota 4 games, won 3 of them without Archer, their ace, starting.
That's what's amazing. Look at that. His career mark here at Target Field, hitting over, Tropicana Field, over 400.
Line foul. See, Joe had a great series in Cleveland with 12 hits and got 2 more last night.
Yeah, single in his first at bat, then the 2-run double in the 9th inning. Won last night 6-2.
Top foul. Have you ever in your life, with a left-handed batter in the batter's box, seen a right fielder play where Souza's playing right now? My goodness.
All the shifts they have today, but that has to be the wildest as far as where Souza's playing. See if he can hang one of those sliders and Joe can pull it down that right field line.
Popped up short left. Miller out. Franklin coming in, and Miller makes the catch, 2 away. Very good numbers against the Twins, despite his 1-loss record this year.
Yeah, 1.78 ERA. Coming into the game, 30 1/3 innings. He's given up only 6 earned runs in the 5 starts to the Twins.
Max Kepler, the batter. Max last night had a chance to see his father for the first time in 6 months. His father got a chance to see Max play for the first time in the big leagues, and probably a night that Max would rather forget. Struck out 3 times.
They're probably a little excited, and there's Dad with Max's sister,
Emma. 1 strike to Kepler. And a weird swing and strike 2.
That's the pitch right there. They'd like Archer to throw a little more of that changeup. Basically a fastball slider, but they want him to change speeds. Almost a 2-seam type break on that changeup.
off the plate at 97. 1-2. The 4 home runs coming, of course, early in the Cleveland series, 3 on Monday night.
Kepler asking for time.
First time he's ever played in a dome stadium last night. Fouled back. Seventeenth pitch of the inning for Archer. Out of piece. We showed you that Archer's just a few, now 2 strikeouts behind Justin Verlander.
A good tight slider right there. And Kepler keeping the bat alive. Archer just 27 years old. He is in his 5th season with the Rays.
And now 2-2. If Archer ends up leading the league in losses, he's leading right now, and in strikeouts, he'd be just the 2nd pitcher ever to do that. Nolan Ryan did it once. Led the league in losses and strikeouts. And now 3-2 with Sano on deck. It was 0-2, and now it's 3-2. Down the line, foul. Well, Kepler putting together a good at bat here, and sometimes the outcome isn't what you would like, but you falling behind 2-0 again, or 0-2 to one of the league's best strikeout pitchers. He's worked the count full.
Making Archer throw more pitches here in that first inning. This will be pitch number 21.
And foul back.
Archer's actually pitched very well here at home. He has a 3.03 earned run average in 11 starts, but he's only won 1 ball game here. 1-8 here at home this year. Opponents hitting only .216 off him here at Tropicana Field.
And finally, swing and a miss ends the at bat. 2 strikeouts in the first, and Archer sets the Twins down 1-2-3. We'll see how the rookie Barrios fares in his half of the first. Part in the middle of June. On June 15th, they were 31-32. and doing just fine right around the 500 mark. But since then, obviously, the record hasn't been very good. They lost 26 out of 30 after that. Here's the Menards batting order for Game 2 tonight. Logan Forsythe and Kevin Kiermaier, Evan Longoria, Brad Miller, Nick Franklin, Corey Dickerson, Steven Souza Jr., Tim Beckham, and then Bobby Wilson.
And on the mound, it'll be Jose Barrios making his second start since his recall. Of course, the Twins trading Ricky Nolasco, opening up a spot for Barrios, making his sixth start. He's coming off that win in Cleveland back on Monday.
Forsythe, Kiermaier, and Longoria. Barrios got 4 starts earlier this year, sent back down for some seasoning. He came back looking better. He had a rough first inning. He gave up 3 runs after the Twins gave him an early 2-0 lead. Then the Twins tied it up right away, and I think that seemed to settle Barrios down a little bit. 1-0. And a base hit to center. Forsythe started the ball game last night with a line drive single to center. And that'll bring up Kiermaier. Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Some things switched around a little bit in the outfield. Danny Santana in left. Last night it was Grossman. Eddie Rosario in center. Last night it was Buxton. Max Kepler in right. Polanco, Escobar, Dozier, Mauer, the infielders, and Kurt Suzuki behind the plate.
I think one thing that's going to make Barrios better, he's only 22 years old, only making his 6th start, but right there he falls behind with a fastball for ball 1, and then comes in with a fastball right down the middle of the plate. He's got to have better control of that fastball. And he has a 4-seam and a 2-seam fastball, so you got to rely on both of those.
Missing outside with the fastball. .21 innings thrown, just 1 ground ball double play. And now outside again, 2-0.
That's what he tried right there. The 2-seamer has a little bit of movement down and away, though. That's a spot you want to hit with a left-handed hitter. Hopefully get that ground ball.
Another one wide. 3-0.
Opening up a little quick. Of course, again, a young kid trying to overthrow a little bit. A little amped up right now. See the 12 walks with the 25 strikeouts, but in 21 innings.
And now a strike in his starting Cleveland. It was the opening game of the road trip. Got the first 2 outs just fine, and then single, hit batter, single, double. Indians had 3 runs. But then he shut the Indians down after that. Teams are 1 for 2 against Barrios in the stolen base department.
Rays do not run a lot. Forsythe at first base, 5 stolen bases in 7 attempts. A couple throwovers.
Three and 1 to Kiermaier. Runner goes, and the pitch fouled back. 3-2.
Yeah, more a hit and run right there with Forsythe taking off for second. In Cleveland, 69.7% on the fastball, the curveball, the tight breaking ball, then the changeup. So establishing that fastball would also help. They tied it up, but then in the 3rd inning they put a 5 spot. The Twins did, gave them a 8-3 lead. Make you breathe a little easier, not afraid to make a mistake, throw the ball over the plate. No walks.
Runner goes on 3-2. Strike 3, and Suzuki couldn't get a grip on the baseball, but Kiermaier takes a called 3rd strike. 1 down.
Now Barrios picks up a strikeout, comes right back with that fastball. Stolen base for Forsythe. Watch him come up right here. I don't know if he just didn't get the ball out of the glove. I thought maybe he made contact with the umpire. But the ball falling out of his glove, so Forsythe will pick up a stolen base, his 6th of the year.
And now Evan Longoria with a runner at second and 1 down. Missing again in Cleveland. After that first inning, Berríos did a great job of throwing strike one, and he's yet to throw a first pitch strike yet today. And a breaking ball in. If the fastball's all over the place, maybe you can find the strike zone with another pitch. 1-1. Straight back, fastball.
Longoria with 23 home runs on the year. He leads the Rays in that department.
What we've seen from Berríos in 5 starts, his strikeout pitch is a high fastball. And a breaking ball in the dirt sometimes. Skied to short center. And now Escobar back on the outfield grass. 2 down.
That's a good fastball right there, down and in, and all Longoria could do kind of tied him up. He just hit that ball up straight up in the air.
And I beg your pardon, of course, it's not outfield grass, it's outfield turf.
Take a look at the pitch. Ball stayed down and in, and Longoria getting underneath it and creating that pop-up.
2 down, and now red hot hitting Brad Miller. He's homered in 3 straight games. Hit a long home run that looked like it might be the deciding home run, but the Twins then hit 2 home runs after Miller's. Back at shortstop tonight for the Rays. And a first pitch strike.
Well, the 20 home runs for Miller, a career high in his first season with the Rays, 3 seasons with the Mariners.
And now 2 strikes. Hit a long one last night down the right field line.
Yeah, this coming in the 6th inning off of Irvin Santana in a 1-1 ball game. This made it a 2-1 ball game. But thanks to Eddie Rosario and the Twins, ended up winning that ball game 6-2.
Berríos ahead. Miller 0-2. Up and away. And he lays off again, 2-2. Very important hitter for Kevin Cash. They don't know yet where he'll settle. Might be first base, might be as the designated hitter. Getting another start at shortstop tonight. Bouncer right side. Mauer can't get it. And it kicks off of Dozier, and a run will score. And the Rays score first on a ground ball between the first and second baseman.
Yeah, they'll give Miller a base hit. Don't know if Mauer maybe blocked out Dozier, but the ball kind of caromed off of him. Went to his right in the short on the turf area, the grass area. Watch this ball, Joe got across. And with 2 outs, Forsythe scores the first run of the ball game. So an RBI for Miller, driving in his 45th run.
And just barely getting back is Miller. So another first inning run against Berríos. And the Twins may challenge that pickoff move. And they will not. I don't think that Phil Cuzzy was going to let him do it because the batter was in the box and Berríos was on the rubber.
Right, it made contact with the pitching rubber.
And a strike. Take a look at this ground ball. Did Mauer deflect it?
Take a look, Joe Green getting over there.
I think he did. I really do. I think it just ticked off the end of his glove a little bit, and that was enough to handcuff Dozier. Missing inside, 1-1. That's a play we've seen Brian make so often. Something must have happened.
Well, Mauer's big frame maybe blocked him out. By the time he picked up the ball, it was too late. It kind of a little short hop off his glove.
And now 2-1. No, Barrios was close to pitching around the leadoff single and stolen base, but now he's thrown 20 pitches in the first inning.
We saw Nick Franklin at first base in last night's ball game. Here today, starting in left field.
Right to Mauer, and that ends it. A couple of singles, a stolen base, and the first run of the game going to the Rays.
With Miguel Sano coming up to bat. Now, with Trevor Plouffe's return just a few days away, Miguel Sano responded to all the chatter with a 3-hit night last night. But Paul Molitor needs to see more. Earlier today, he said it's the day-to-day, pitch-to-pitch focus, whether it's at the plate, on the bases, or in the field, that has to be there on a regular basis. He said players that bear down every pitch of a game, no matter how long a game may be, are the ones who rise to the top. Now, he was impressed with that 3-hit performance, but he says that it was most impressive that it came after 2 strikeouts. But again, it's the focus and that kind of response that has to be there day in and day out. And that's the biggest thing that Miguel Sano has to work on.
Well, thank you, Audra. Sano leading off the second. He took a fastball for a strike, and now ball 1-1.
That's one thing at this level. You know, every at-bat, you have to take it like it's your last at-bat you'll ever have. So the concentration and the focus has to be there.
And I think what the Twins want to see is the determination to be better in all phases of the game, the work ethic that the Twins expect from their marquee players, and so Sano is already one of those. Trevor Plouffe's expected to be coming off the disabled list and off his rehab assignment on Monday, and the Twins obviously need to make room for him. And in one sense, Sano or Polanco, other third baseman, would be likely candidates, but Polanco's done so well. 2-2 to Sano. Just off the plate, 3-2. Another option might be Byron Buxton, who is struggling, making contact again. The Twins have a couple of options in center field, Rosario and Santana. So we'll see what they decide. Full count and a foul ball.
Now, 4 batters in. This is the 3rd full count that Archer's had.
3-2. And Sano waited on a slider or cutter and missed it. 1 down. And that'll bring up Eddie Rosario. Twice this year he's come off the bench and hit home run.
Yeah, once in at home against Washington. The Nationals, he hit that 2-run home run. Twins ended up losing that ball game 6-5. And then last night's ball game asked a pinch hit, and he delivered another 2-run home run.
And now in the starting lineup in center field, and he takes up high, ball 1.
And I said as Washington, it was the Milwaukee Brewers he hit the 2-run home run against.
I remember being in Washington. I don't remember them coming
our way. See, my little mind thought that too. Wait a minute, we were there. They weren't here or in many.
3-0 to Rosario. Rosario not one to draw a lot of walks, but he's been more selective at the plate. And he takes a 4-pitch walk. That is just his 4th unintentional walk of the year, and he's aboard. And Escobar will come to the plate. Early Carsoup.com trivia. Who is the only AL pitcher to lead the league in strikeouts and losses in the same season? And I think I already tipped that off. I'm sorry about that. I did. If there was ever any question as to whether we knew what the trivia questions were before, I think I just disproved that, right? Because I think I just gave the answer.
I think he wore number 30.
Scott Baker. No?
Well, he did wear number 30.
Strike 1 to Escobar. If you're a switch hitter, you would like to be equally accomplished, adept from both sides of the plate, and this year Escobar's done that. He's hitting .262 right-handed, .261 left-handed. Tap foul, 2 strikes. And the shortstop job is once again Eduardo Escobar's, as it was at the start of the year. Happened last year. Danny Santana was the starting shortstop, and then Santana struggled, and the Twins gave Escobar the chance. They gave him the chance at the start of this year, and then Nunez took over because he was hitting the ball so well. In the dirt. Nice block by Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson with the Rays last year. Just being claimed off waivers from the Texas Rangers. Good block there by Wilson, and he's known as a very good defensive catcher.
Twins have won 7 of their last 9 games. One and 2 to Escobar. Runner goes, and the pitch pop foul over the Twins dugout. Rosario on the year 4 of 5 in stolen bases.
Clubs have run against Archer 11 stolen bases in 16 attempts. He does have 1 pickoff this season, 3 in his career.
Driven to left, and Franklin is right there. 2 down. And that'll bring up Polanco. Polanco's only had 50 at bats, but he too's gotten some big hits from both sides of the plate. Hitting .286 right-handed, .306 left-handed. Driven in 4 runs from each side of the plate. And he's handled everything that's been hit to him at third base. That's something that Miguel Sano can't say. And a strike. That's why this whole business of somebody making room for Trevor Plouffe is so complicated, because I think long term the Twins still don't want to pigeonhole Sano as their designated hitter. And even if they did that, Kenny Vargas has swung a good bat, and that would limit his playing time. Polanco rifles a shot to center field. Rosario around second. Here's the throw coming to third base. Out at third. Running away from the infield. Kiermaier picked it off and came up with a throw, but we'll see whether the Twins challenge it. Rays are coming off the field, but Paul Molitor has his foot out of the dugout. This might be challenged at third base.
I'll take a look. Kiermaier, one hop throw. And Longoria, did he tag him?
I don't know. Not from that angle. Maybe this angle. You'll see when the glove touches. I think they got him. Yep. Twins won't challenge it. They get their first base runner and first hit. But a nice tag by Longoria ends the inning. Field after being thrown out at third. Took a good play by Kiermaier and a good tag by Longoria. You can understand you don't want to make the last out at third base, but Rosario, seeing Kiermaier running to the right field foul line to get to that single, he thought he'd be able to make it easily into third base.
Kiermaier, when he's healthy, he's one of the best outfielders in the game of baseball. Last year had 15 outfield assists, most in Major League Baseball. Spent some time on a disabled list, but boy, he plays it well. Very, very good center field.
2-0 now to Dickerson. The Rays designated hitter Steven Souza Jr. and Tim Beckham will follow. Fouled away.
Watch Kiermaier right here. The ball looks like it's going to be in the gap. Of course, it's a base runner with 2 outs. You're off with a crack of the bat, but a good, strong one-hop throw to Longoria on the outfield side. So Longoria just has to swipe the tag as quick as he can. Got the back end of Rosario sliding in.
Missing outside now, 3-1. Barrios gave up a leadoff single that resulted in a run in the first, and now 3-1 to the leadoff man here in the second. Another foul ball. You look at Barrios's numbers, and the ERA is bloated because of his start against the Tigers in the middle of May. 2/3 of an inning and 7 earned runs. Left, and Santana retreats. Can't even call that a warning track. It's just different colored carpet out there. 1 down, and Souza will hit next. You can follow Twins baseball live with the MLB.com @Bat app. Customize at bat to feature the Twins. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day, live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet. Of course, it was Santana in Cleveland that jammed his knee into the rubberized warning track in foul territory at Progressive Field. They have an actual warning track. I don't understand this. You remember, because I think you were working the game when Chad Allen twisted his knee on the seam of the rubberized warning track in right field in Cleveland.
Right.
So they replaced it with an actual dirt track in fair territory only.
Right. Still down that foul line is that turf.
And that's down the line. Fouled by a foot. Santana will play the carom. Souza to second with a double.
That's a breaking ball right there. He's got a hard breaking ball. That ball kind of just spun right over the heart of the plate. Flattened out, and Souza took advantage of it. Second base with a double, his 14th of the year. Take a look at the location. Suzuki wanting it away. And a nice swing. It's that double right down the left field line for Souza. Third hit for the Rays.
And now Tim Beckham cracked a couple of doubles against Irvin Santana last night. Ball one. Missing low, 2-0. Beckham, and then light hitting catcher Bobby Wilson on deck. And Beckham's been stinging the ball a lot lately. Missed again, 3-0.
This is kind of where Santana fell behind. You know, he pitched great last night, but he did fall behind Beckham a couple times. Had to throw him a fastball, and Beckham took advantage of those two doubles. And Barrios falling behind.
And missing low, a 4-pitch walk. And that'll bring up Wilson. I say light hitting Bobby Wilson. He is hitting .241. He's hit 3 home runs, 24 runs batted in, but he's known for his defensive prowess. He has really bounced around this year alone. He was with the Rays before, signed with Texas. They traded him to Detroit, back to Texas, and now put on waivers and picked up by the Rays.
Yeah, back just a couple days ago, selected off waivers by the Rays from the Texas Rangers. Played in 25 ball games last year for the Rays.
It is amazing to me, Bert, as you look around these teams and we see the American League, and there are a couple of notable exceptions, I guess. Lucroy's now in the American League. Ball one. But how thin the catching market is. And I don't mean trade market, but I mean just Cleveland doesn't have any catching right now, right? They're hoping Gomes will get back. Roberto Perez, Chris Jimenez are going to try to, they'll catch in Gomes' absence. And another miss, 6 in a row out of the strike zone. But now you come here to Tampa Bay, and they've got Maile. They want to see what they have with him. And they get Bobby Wilson, who's the quintessential journeyman catcher.
Right. Well, if you can catch and you're a good defensive catcher, offense is just a plus.
There's a foul ball that I don't believe a right-handed batter has ever hit a foul ball there.
That's called getting out a little early.
He had to have fouled that right over his left shoulder.
Looking for the fastball. Jumps all over it.
2-1.
Putting it into the third deck. Foul.
Well, Barrios doesn't seem to be missing by much, but now it's 3-1 to the number 9 batter.
Well, you find yourself having to throw the ball right back down the heart of the plate. Strike to ball ratio 50-50, not good.
At the knees, 3-2. Wilson wanted to walk. And Wilson has some words for Phil Cuzzi.
Yeah, Phil Cuzzi probably saying, give my pitcher the same pitch.
Ooh, that was right there. Full count to the number 9 batter. And they pick off second. Got him. Souza picked off second. And he doesn't linger, which suggests he knows he's out. Kevin Cash has a foot out of the dugout.
Well, you see Brian Dozier with that right hand saying, give me the ball. And it was a perfect throw by Barrios. And a quick tag by Dozier of the shoulder.
I don't think there will be anything to convincingly turn that call over, although the Rays are still considering it. Right here, does he get the shoulder before the hand gets on the bag? And the Rays won't challenge because it's just the second inning.
That's a huge pickoff right there between Dozier and Barrios.
Well, Barrios can just concentrate on striking out Wilson here and getting his team off the field. At least that's his hope. Popped up. Yeah, behind the plate, out of play. He had Wilson lunging.
Yeah, Wilson in his 8th major league season at the big league level. He came up with the Angels back in 2008. Spent 5 seasons with the Angels. Then went over to the Diamondbacks, and then last year just switching back and forth. 3 different clubs.
Runner goes. Pitch popped up right field. Kepler coming in near the line. Dozier out, and Kepler makes the catch. 40 pitches through 2 innings. It's 1-0 Tampa Bay. Fox Sports North is presented by CenturyLink. Switch to CenturyLink Prism TV for an advanced TV experience. Learn more at cprismtv.com. The Ray tank is out in right center field here at Tropicana Field. Every once in a while somebody will hit a home run in the Ray tank. In batting practice I saw one that splash in there tonight. Suzuki first ball swinging. It's a slow bouncer to Millie. And Suzuki's quickly retired, 1 away.
And that's really what both starters need. Both starters after 2 innings have both thrown 40 pitches apiece. And both starters have had 3 batters where they've taken the full counts. So a quick out right there for Archer.
It's rare these days to see a pitcher of Archer's caliber threaten to lose 20 games. There's only been one 20-game loser in the major league since 1980. That was Mike Maroth, and he lost 21 ball games, but his team lost 119, the Tigers, in 03. Here is Santana. It used to be a pretty common occurrence, losing 20 back when you had a 4-day or 4-man rotation.
I remember Wilbur Wood was 24-20 1 year.
Right.
Some good pitchers that have lost 20 games. You mentioned earlier Steve Carlton.
Steve Carlton one year went 27-10, then he went 13-20 the next. Louis Tiant in 1968 won 21 ball games, and then in 1969 he lost 20. Grounder right side, and that handcuffs Forsythe, and Santana will reach with 1 out.
That should be a base hit, as it was a base hit earlier in the first inning for Miller. Ball coming up.
You know, and I don't know whether it was a factor on this ground ball or the one to Dozier, but of course they have a dirt infield here.
You see the dirt infield, but watch Forsythe go back onto the turf, and that ball just came up on him a little bit.
See how close that ball, well, that was bounced, that had bounced 3 feet before the edge.
Twins pick up their second hit.
Santana speed aboard with 1 out, and Dozier, who struck out his first time up. Now a bouncer to Longoria. Here's a tailor-made double play. Suzuki and Dozier go after the first pitch, and it's a quick 3rd inning for Archer.
He did a very good job last time with his fastball. He located both sides of the plate well. He elevated. He pitched inside. He did a lot of good things, and he threw his breaking ball. His breaking ball and his changeup, you know, for strikes, and it was very impressive. But the big key thing for him was that he worked ahead last time, and we'd like to see more consistency out of him like that tonight.
And frankly, they have not seen that. He's gotten ahead of a few batters, but typically it's been ball 1, ball 2, ball 3.
Yeah, he's faced 9 batters, only 3 first pitch strikes.
Back to the top of the order, Logan Forsythe will lead things off, then Kevin Kiermaier and Evan Longoria. When he was called up earlier, the idea was, well, let's see how he does, and then particularly that last start against the Tigers made it clear that he needed a little more seasoning. Different situation this time around. Tommy Malone moved to the bullpen to create a spot for Berríos. And then, of course, Hector Santiago now has come in pretty much to replace Ricky Nolasco, but the door is wide open for Berríos to take his turn every 5 days till the end of the year.
Yeah, and he's earned it, really. I mean, down at AAA, 10-5, ERA at 2.44 in 16 starts, and you know, he spent some time there last year, so Yeah, his time is ripe now, and Twins need to see what he can do. So much hype, you know. Byron Buxton, a lot of hype in the minor leagues. Barrios, the same thing. He's going to be the next maybe superstar or ace of a ball club. Well, it's going to take some time. He's got to get his feet wet right now. Won his first major league start in Houston, and his second start made his major league debut at Target Field against the Indians.
Foul back. And Neil Allen, of course, came out of the Tampa Bay system. He's used to recognizing and developing good young pitching talent. He worked a lot with Chris Archer, David Price, Matt Moore, Alex Cobb, Jeremy Hellickson. Some of the more notable names that have come through there. There's a high drive left center field. Chased by Rosario, and he's there, out number 1. And that'll bring up Kiermaier. Twins fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with the all-new Fox Sports Go app. You can download the app, take Fox Sports North and Twins baseball with you wherever you go.
You know, when you get to the big leagues, sometimes in the minor leagues, you know, you can have success, but you have to bring that same mindset up here. You know, the hitters are good at AAA too, believe me. But I'm sure in the minor leagues, you look at his numbers this year in the minor leagues, only 69 hits allowed in 103 innings in the minor leagues, 111 strikeouts. Can he do that here? I think once he relaxes a little bit, trusts his stuff, you know, it's a bigger show here. That's all it is.
Whether you're a pitcher or a position player, you can succeed if you're confident in your abilities. It's hard to do that when you give up 7 earned runs in 2/3 of an inning. You get ambushed in the first pitch of the game. You can't recover. But much like, I mean, everybody in Twins territory is pretty excited. There's a strikeout right there.
Well, there's a strikeout right there, but you saw Suzuki wanted that fastball in, and that ball rode away. So these are the little things that hopefully in time he'll relax a little bit. See Suzuki sitting inside, and the ball ends up away, and Kiermaier just swinging through it. Picks up his second strikeout. Barrios does.
Longoria popped up his first time up. Everybody in Twins territory is really excited about Max Kepler now because of what he's done once he's relaxed a little bit and found some confidence that he can succeed up here. Hit 3 home runs in a game. You should be confident, right? Well, from the pitching side, Barrios needs to have that success and a step forward, I think, in his last start in Cleveland.
I think, Dick, you know, with Kepler's 3 home runs, you saw where all the pitches were.
Right.
I mean, that's where he liked him. Well, now what clubs are trying to do is pitch him up in the zone. So now he has to make the adjustment. It's constantly adjusting.
0-2 to Longoria.
Now change up right here, Suzuki wants.
And hammered to left by Longoria on an 0-2 pitch, and it's 2-0.
Home run number 24 on the year for Longoria. Very quick hands. Want to drop that changeup right on top of the plate, but instead it stayed up, and Longoria, almost the same pitch that he popped up in his first at bat. This one on the changeup got out front.
And now Miller, those hurt. 0-2 home runs really hurt. Miller with an RBI single. He had a chopper between Mauer and Dozier, and looked as if Mauer may have gotten the very tip of his glove on the ground ball, and instead of it being the 3rd out, it was a single, and scored Forsythe from second base. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
6th home run that Barrios has allowed, this being his 6th major league start.
We were talking about the location of the fastball when he struck out Kiermaier, and what cost him to Longoria was the location of the changeup. They wanted it low and over the middle of the plate, outer half of the plate, and he left it over the inside corner, and the veteran hitter pounced on it. 2-1. popped up behind third. Polanco out. Escobar calling the third baseman off, and falling down makes the catch. A 2-out, 2-strike home run by Longoria. It's 2-0. And in the fourth, Joe Mauer will lead things off. Twins have gone 11-5 on the road since July 1st. On this road trip, they're 4-1. Here's Mauer to start the fourth inside. They had a 5-2 road trip at the end of last year, but they have a chance to do that better if they can win a couple of games here in less than 24 hours.
Yeah, 4-1 in August. They've hit 12 home runs already in the 5 ball games. And what's nice to see, Dick, as Archer falls behind an account, 4 solo home runs, 7 home runs have had a runner on. So a 2-run home run, 1 3-run home run. So the home runs scoring some runs.
2-0. And at the knees, 2-1. Twins have won 7 of their last 9 games. They've always had a tough time with Chris Archer, and now he's got a 2-0 lead. Called strike.
Good breaking ball right there.
Ground ball hit to the shortstop. Miller has it, and he slings it over to Beckham, one away. Been many at bats on his road trip where Joe's made outs twice in a row. Here's Max Kepler, finally struck out swinging after a long battle with Archer. We're talking about Archer, 15 losses already, and counting tonight at least 10 starts left. There's a decent chance he'll lose 20. The Twins have only had one 20-game loser, and that was in their initial year. Pedro Ramos threatened to lose 20 in Washington, D.C. in 58, 59, and 60. And finally in 1961 he did lose 20 games for the Twins. But that year he went 11-20, and he had an ERA of 3.95. Now if you had a 3.95 these days, you'd march in and get a multi-year contract.
Well, you know, you just kind of pick Archer's season. I mean, his last 10 starts for Chris Archer, he's 1-8. Okay, he's got a very good ERA, just under 4, 3.99. In his 8 losses, 7 of his 8 losses, the Rays have scored a total of 12 runs for him. So.
And now 2-2 to Kepler.
Sometimes it's not how you pitch, it's when you pitch. And Archer coming into the ball game, very good, not bad. 4.38 ERA in 23 starts.
Close pitch. Archer wanted it. It's 3-2. He's got another full count with Kepler.
Yeah, 4th time he's had a 3-2 count. Had a quick inning last in the 3rd. Only 6 pitches thrown.
Popped up. And Wilson near the Twins dugout with the catch, and Kepler's done. Out number 2. And that'll bring up Sano. Sano struck out his first time up.
Number 22, Miguel Sano.
You're talking about it's not so much winning or losing, it's when you pitch. That's true for both wins and losses. Who was a pitcher got a win the other day without throwing a pitch or without retiring a batter? He picked somebody off and got credit for the win. That happens a couple times a year, it seems like.
I remember Stan Williams did that in relief in Anaheim. He picked off a guy at 3rd, didn't throw a pitch to home like he's mentioned, came back in. Twins, I think it was a tie ball game. The Twins scored runs. He got the win.
That's not right either. Some guys are out there. Chris Archer had what, 10 pitches with in the Max Kepler at bat in the 1st inning. Struggled, working up a sweat, grunting, all the things pitchers do.
They grunt a lot, yes.
1-1 to Sano. Strike on the outside corner.
Perfect pitch right there by Archer at 97 miles an hour. In his 15 losses, offense has scored a total of 32 runs in those 15 losses.
And Sano strikes out for the first 2 times again tonight. That's a 1-2-3-4.
A progressive scale that you look for your young position players, your young pitchers, to make the adjustment of trying to find a way to harness your abilities and become more consistent up here. We talked about performance with some of our guys and how you see the ups and downs as they try to figure out how to establish themselves here. And I think in Jose's case, although he's has a very confident exterior. I still think that there's a part of him, just because of lack of experience, where the game can still get fast.
Yeah, we all go through it, no matter who you are. Paul went through it. I went through it. Everybody goes through it. Your first year, you're trying to establish yourself. Do you belong here? There's those doubts, that little guy on your left shoulder. And finally, you can kick that guy off, then you're okay. But it takes a while. He has the ability. He has the arm. He has the pitches. It's just a matter of putting it all together, taking a deep breath, and making good quality pitches. Too many pitches right down the heart of the plate. Too many mistakes. That's a good pitch right there, down in the strike zone.
And reminding yourself from time to time, he's 22 years old.
Well, age, you know, that's just a number. It's what you do with that. You know, some guys come up at a very young age and they have success right away. Some guys come up at 27, 28.
To center, and that'll carry out to Rosario for the first out. One down, and that'll bring up Dickerson. There are very few Dwight Goodens who can come up and dominate right away, and I don't know that Berríos will ever be that type of player.
No, what you want is consistency, and right now he hasn't really shown that in his 6 starts. This is only his 6th major league start. Time will tell.
Dickerson hit a fly to left his first time up. And a first pitch strike. He's mixed in a few of those to get a first pitch strike. Off speed pitches over.
Yeah, it's kind of like a big sweeping breaking ball. They calls it a curveball, but it's kind of a between a slider and a curveball. Curveball goes more down type break, but this is kind of a sweeper. And there's a good fastball right there. Has that almost like a two-seamer. Work that pitch down and away, especially the left-handers. But now ahead in the count. Now watch Suzuki. See if he wants to come in on Dickerson. Suzuki's sitting away, and exactly where that pitch was. That's a good pitch right there. You have to rely on a veteran catcher. Now you see he wants a fastball up. And a good pitch. I myself, when I came up, I had George Meadowall, then Phil Roof, 2 guys that really took me under their wing and called a lot of the games early on. You don't see Berríos shaking off.
Change up in a pretty good spot, and all that Dickerson could do is foul it off the end of the bat.
You have to trust your catcher, and that's what I love about the game, especially when young kids are pitching like Berríos. Suzuki has to enjoy calling the game for young pitchers, trying to set them up.
Saw Fox Tracks presented by Chrysler.
Back with another changeup. Drop down underneath, and you saw Berríos almost do it with his arm. I felt I'd drop down and get on top of that ball. When I say get on top of the ball, get your fingers and your hand on top of the ball and create that downward plane.
2-2.
Two-seamer away.
And a strikeout.
Good pitch.
2 down.
So Berríos picks up his 3rd strikeout. This is the art of pitching right here. That's exactly where Kurt Suzuki wanted. Early in the first couple innings, you saw him kind of miss his spots. Well, now you're relaxed a little bit. You're in the 4th inning. You're settled down a little bit. You know what kind of stuff you have. Kurt Suzuki knows what kind of stuff you have.
Here's Souza.
But you still have to hit your spots with your fastball.
Souza doubled and eventually was picked off second base in the 2nd inning.
Now the curveball.
High to left field. Back to the wall is Santana. And he might have lost it for a while. He ended up making the catch, and it's a 1-2-3-4.
I was going to thought it hit the catwalk.
to remember when he took the first pitch he ever faced and sent it out of the ballpark. Well, last night, Paul Molitor turned to him to pinch hit in the 7th inning, and the same thing happened again. The first pitch he saw, he took that one to the bleachers. And there's two things in common, not just the home runs, but it's the fact that Eddie Rosario's father, Eddie Rosario Sr., was there to witness both. Now, that debut was the first time you saw him play in the major leagues. This is now the second time you saw him play in the major league, so you seem to be a bit of a good luck charm. What was it like to watch history repeat itself last night?
It's the same thing. Wow, I can't believe it again. I say it's going to happen again. When I saw that ball flying to the right field, when wow, what coincidence, you know. I say, pretty nice. It's a nice feeling, yeah.
Have you thought about making these trips a regular occurrence?
No. We just came here to vacation, and you know, it's a short trip from Puerto Rico to Florida, so yeah, we got things in Puerto Rico, so yeah. He wanted us to be here.
And I know there's a huge group. He said about 30 people here watching him, so that was a pretty impressive moment for everyone.
Yeah, it is. I got friends here coming all around Florida. I got families too, you know. And my brother is right here next to me again. He witnessed last year the same home run that he hit. So he's here to see something happens.
He's had a very impressive couple of weeks since he's rejoined this team. Where have you seen the biggest growth in Eddie?
I think he's more patient and playing pitcher selections and things like that. And just stay with the club. He doesn't want to go back to a minor, so yeah, I guarantee that. So he's trying to do his best.
What is something people might not know about Eddie Rosario?
It's the same person, you know. Eddie is a nice kid, you know, grew up very good, so he likes baseball, and he likes Minnesota Twins, you know. So I think that's part of him. Yeah. So he's a nice person.
Well, I know you guys are very proud, and congratulations on raising a great guy, a great player, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your time here in Tampa Bay.
Oh, thank you very much.
Guys, we'll go back upstairs to you.
And Eddie's father seems like a very nice person. He did a great job of raising a good young man right there, mom and dad.
And I think we can conclude that when Eddie was at AAA, there weren't many trips from Puerto Rico to Buffalo, Raleigh, Durham, any of the other cities that Eddie played in. Polanco, the batter. Rosario struck out swinging. Escobar bounced to first, and now Polanco with a single to center. And the inning ended on the base hit with Kiermaier fielding the single and throwing out Rosario at third base. 1-1.
Oh, Archer settling down nicely. Is retired. He got that big double play off the bat of Dozier, so second time through the lineup has been very good for Archer. Couple strikeouts and a good changeup right there, so he's mixing it. I know the at bat for Rosario, 3 pitches, a strikeout. Saw the fastball, slider, and then the changeup. So the 6-pitch third inning, now 8 pitches so far here in the 5th with 2 outs.
1-2 to Polanco. And he was ready for a pitch up and in and drilled it foul.
Yeah, Polanco has one of the 2 hits for the Twins. A base hit in the 2nd inning. That was a play that Rosario got thrown out at third by Kiermaier.
2-2.
They list Archer at 6'3", about 190 pounds. Made the All-Star team last year, his first All-Star appearance. 12-game winner for the Rays last year.
First came up with the Rays in 2012, and then they sent him down to work with Neil Allen in Durham in 2013. Wanted him to work on the changeup. Wanted him to feel more confident, get better command of it. 3-2. Suzuki on deck.
Well, 5th 3-ball count, 3-2 count for Archer against the Twins batter here so far.
Only walked 1. That was Rosario with 1 out in the 2nd. Fouled back. '75th pitch of the night. coming up for Archer, trying to get the final out of the 5th inning. Sharply hit, caught, I think, in the air by Beckham. Backhanded it, went to the bag anyway. And Polanco had a good at bat, but it's a 1-2-3-5 for Archer.
Ben, you are hereby circled in the U.S. Army. And Twin fans, don't forget at Twin home games, bring your Circle Me signs. You may find yourself in the Minnesota Lottery winner's circle where you could win $100 worth of lottery tickets. Scratch-off tickets, courtesy of the Minnesota Lottery.
How long has it been since you've read that?
A while. Yesterday, I think. Ben right there in the U.S. Army he's from Minnesota. His family's watching from Eden Prairie. So, Ben, thank you for your service.
Tim Beckham takes ball 1 outside. He drew a walk in the 2nd inning. It'll be Beckham, Wilson, and Forsythe in the 5th inning. 2-0. And a 3-0.
You see it right there. You see Barrios kind of shaking his head. Now you have to go back to that fastball. Trust the fastball. Outer half of the plate where Suzuki's going to sit.
And a strike call. Second time that a Rays batter thought he'd drawn a walk.
Oh, good fastball down. Got the lower part of the strike zone.
The same pitch that was called a strike in Wilson's at bat in the 2nd inning. 3-1.
Make him swing the bat.
He does. A towering pop-up. Almost hit one of the rings here. And Rosario with the catch. 1 away. Sanford Health injury report involving a former Twin. Oswaldo Arcia has got a strained right elbow, and you can see his numbers since joining the Rays. Couple of home runs. He started off red hot, cooled off afterwards, and we have seen that from Arcia, who had parts of 4 years to win a job with the Twins. And I suppose you could make the point that his best year was his first year with the Twins, when he hit .251. 14 home runs, 43 runs batted in. He had 20 home runs the next year, but then struggled early in the season last year and really struggled once he was demoted to AAA. And now 1-1. And the Twins think decided that he had had his chances with them. Immense power. The Rays are actually experimenting him a little bit at first base because that's where their need is. 2-1. And another 3-ball count to Wilson. Wilson nearly walked to fill the bases in the second, and then a big pickoff of Souza at second base. Wilson ended up hitting a fly ball to right, and that was the end of the threat. Drilled to left near the pole. Gone. A home run for Wilson. A line shot just tucked inside the foul pole, and it's 3-0.
Oh, Wilson making his debut this year for the Rays. Last year, again, 25 ball games, but this is his 4th home run of the year. A 3-1 count. Fastball. Stayed inside. Wilson open up quickly. It's a line drive home run. Did not take long to get out. Second home run for the Rays. A 3-0 lead now.
Both home runs, a one by Longoria on a changeup in the third, and this one were supposed to be pitches on the outer half of the plate, and Berríos let them leak over the inner half of the plate. And now here's Forsythe. Strike one.
You know, I have been where Berríos is right now, and I watch this young man. He has major league stuff. Sometimes he rushes. And what I mean by rushes, 2 good breaking balls right there. You fly open so quick with the lower part of your body, your upper torso can't catch up, and that's why I think we see the erratic control with that fastball.
Fastball up and in on 0-2.
You're trying to overthrow right there rather than hit the spot where your catcher wants it. But it takes time, because you're full of adrenaline right now. You want to strike out everybody.
Flipped foul.
But even that pitch right there, he got underneath it. He doesn't create. He's having a tough time creating that good downward plane, because when you rush, you lead with the palm of your hand rather than the fingers on top of that baseball. And it's very, very small adjustment.
Doesn't chase the breaking ball, and it's 2-2.
You never quit learning.
Up the line foul. Still 2-2.
Orioles taking a little extra time right there, rubbing up the ball, looking out in center field. Deep breath. Make a good quality fastball. He wants to go back in. So he shook Suzuki off a couple times. Suzuki wanted to go fastball away, curveball, then fastball in. And you saw the location of that pitch is out over the plate. If you're telling yourself, I'll have to go in, you have to go way in. If you hit him, that's a bonus. Okay, you have to go hard in. You have to get that ball in there. Maybe not a bonus, but at least you proved your point that you could get it in there. And you have to talk to yourself and get that ball in there. Just like I'm doing right now, just talking to myself. Are you listening at all?
I'm sorry, what'd you say? 2-2. And missing inside, now full count. One walk issued by Berríos. It came in the second inning.
Fourth full count here in this ball game for Berríos against a Ray batter.
And another foul ball. Pitch count climbing. This will be his 90th. Tapper, Polanco, charges. Throws a sinker over to Mauer, 2 down.
Let's take a look at both locations where they want it. Now Longoria in the 3rd inning wanted a change up. Suzuki keep it down. Well, you can see Suzuki's glove moving in. Longoria reacting very quickly, hitting that solo home run. And Wilson, 3-1 count. Suzuki wants it basically away, left middle in, and Wilson turned on it quickly.
So when you talk about location, balls and strikes is just part of it. It's location within the strike zone.
Working with your catcher and making that strike zone hopefully grow if you can hit your spots.
Now to do that consistently, you need muscle memory to be able to repeat your mechanics perfectly every time out. And in those rare instances where things get a little out of sync, to recognize it and be able to follow it up with a mechanically better pitch the next time.
Yeah, and you're not computer, you're not a robot out there. You're going to make mistakes. It's how you make the adjustment after the mistake. I always told myself, stay back, stay tall, work out front. And that seemed to help a lot.
1-1 to Kiermaier. And now 1-2.
And when I say stay tall, stay back, that means stay over that pitching rubber. Allow your arm to catch up. Stay tall, meaning stay back, stay tall, work out front, meaning you get the ball out front.
Buddy Boucher's warming up with Barrios approaching 100 pitches here in the 5th. 1-2. And a nasty pitch, gets a strikeout, his 4th. But a Wilson home run expands the lead to 3-0. Fox Sports North is presented by Northland Ford. Visit northlandford.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. What's yours? Single runs for the Rays in the odd-numbered innings. Then we go to the 6th. Twins still looking to do some damage against Chris Archer. It'll be Suzuki, Santana, and Dozier.
Yeah, Archer's retired 7 straight. So he's on a bit of a run.
5 strikeouts through 5 innings. And here's Suzuki, who hit a first pitch grounder to short. Strike on the outside corner.
I think what we're seeing here tonight, you got Barrios making his 6th major league start. You see Archer making his 117th major league start. So you see youngsters right there. I mean, Archer went through what Barrios is trying to go through now. And Archer, to me, I mean, he does a good job of staying on top of that ball. The way he sets up on that pitching rubber, nice and easy, gets to the balance point, You can see take a little extra time.
2-1.
That's the working out front. Make that pitch go down. Even though that was down and away, it had something on it.
His name was mentioned in the trade rumors before the trade deadline. 37 and 47, his lifetime mark. Checked his swing, 3-1. But an ERA that's been very good. Entered the year with a 3.33 ERA.
Yeah, right now 3.54. He has 3 complete games, all of them shutouts.
One's hoping to put together an inning here in the 6th. And Suzuki takes ball 4, a 5-pitch walk, and he's aboard here in the 6th inning.
Yeah, second walk for Archer.
And Archer right now leading the league in strikeouts and leading the league in losses. And our Carsoup.com trivia question prematurely answered by the play-by-play guy, Nolan Ryan.
Look at that, 327 strikeouts.
And 18 losses. Santana swings through a fastball, 1 strike. Santana singled his first time up. Twins haven't had a hit since. And now 0-2. Three swings and misses by Santana, 1 away.
And strikeout number 5 for Archer.
Praise FM invites you to Faith Night 2016, a post-game event following the August 13th game between the Twins and Kansas City. You can enjoy the game and then stay for post-game live worship music and appearances by Brian Dozier, Kyle Gibson, and some others. For details and tickets, visit twinsbaseball.com/Faith Night.
Yeah, strikeout number 6. I missed a strikeout somewhere.
Suzuki aboard, 1 down, and now Dozier. He struck out in the first and hit into a double play. Right after Santana hit single, Dozier hit a 1-hopper to Longoria, almost right on top of the bag. One strike. Twins need a jolt to get back in this game. Drive to left center field. Franklin over. Can't make the play. Suzuki to second. On his way to third. Dozier to second. And that is a mini jolt. A double. And the Twins have a couple of runners in scoring position now for Joe Mauer.
Yeah, high fastball right there. And Brian Dozier jumped all over it. So 3rd hit for the Twins for Brian Dozier, his 23rd double of the year. See Wilson wanting that pitch away, and see, you make mistakes.
Think any difference whether your name is Chris Archer or Jose Barrios? Just out of the reach of Franklin. 3-run lead, so the Rays will play the infield back. Mauer with a pop to short and a grounder to short. Up and away, ball 1. And a strike. Last start, Archer was brilliant against the Royals. Danny Duffy was better. He struck out 16 batters that night, but he had a shutout going into the 7th inning. Topper right side, a run will score. Out number 2, Suzuki scoring, and it's 3-1.
Yeah, Mauer picking up an RBI, his 42nd of the year. And on the play, Brian Dozier scoots over to 3rd.
And now Kepler will try to deliver a 2-out hit here.
Yeah, that was that ball game. Duffy had the no-hitter going into the 8th inning.
And then the Royals did some damage against Archer in the 7th and 8th innings. Kepler struck out after a long at bat in the 1st inning and then fouled out to Wilson in the 4th.
Kepler looking for his first hit in this series. Good time to get it right here.
Nice block by Wilson. In Cleveland, Kepler had, for lack of a better term, a Roy Hobbs type of series. Whatever he wanted to do, it seemed like he could do at the plate. Want to hit a home run? Okay, single to center, he can do that too. And we all knew it wasn't going to last all year long. Even in the movies, it doesn't last all year long. See if he can pick up a hit here. Another block by Wilson, and Kepler's laid off a couple of pitches in the dirt.
Yeah, Wilson doing a good job of blocking those last 2 pitches. 10 wild pitches for Archer this year.
So at least Kepler's ahead in the count here. He's been behind in the count against Archer in his first 2 at bats. 3-0 with Sano on deck.
Well, it was a walk to Suzuki that helped the Twins put a run on the board this inning.
Imagine Kepler would be taking here. And he takes ball 4.
Second walk of the inning, 3rd of the ball game for Chris Archer.
Get caught up with all the latest Vikings action from training camp. You can tune in tonight after Twins Live for Vikings Beyond the Gridiron at 8:30 p.m. only on Fox Sports North. Jim Hickey to the mound. Last night, about the same point in the game, Hickey came to the mound, and the Twins sent up pinch hitter Eddie Rosario. That was one of the worst trips to the mound I've seen in a long time.
That was Ramirez on the mound. Next pitch, boom. Twins have a 3-2 lead.
Quick trip to the mound by Hickey. Sano has struck out twice in last night's game. He struck out his first 2 times up and then picked up 3 hits, including a home run.
Base hit, home run, base hit.
One on the board, and the Twins with a chance to do more. Ball getting free from the Tampa Bay bullpen. Beg your pardon. Strike on the outside corner.
Slider down and away.
Javier Cedeno, who now is the only left-hander in the Tampa Bay bullpen. One and one. Kepler runs well. If Sano can find even a gap someplace, might tie the game. Two and one. And Archer's really had a tough time throwing strikes this inning. The leadoff walk. Kepler walked. And now he's put Sano in a hitter's count.
Pitch number 21 this inning for Archer.
Popped up over the Rays dugout. 2-2.
You got a pitch to hit right there. That slider stayed up, and Sano fouled it off. Take a look at the location. Whoa. You'd like to have that one back. Now we might get that nasty slider down and away.
Took a fastball up and away. 3-2, and Kepler runs pretty well anyway, but now he'll be able to leave early from first base with Rosario on deck. Looks like he got another pitch center cut, and he tapped it foul.
Take a look at that last pitch, a spinner.
It was an even better pitch to hit than the prior slider. Got him. And Archer strikes out Sano for the third time tonight. The Twins get just one in the sixth. Mountain Dew fans of the game, Twins fans here, hoping that they can come from behind and pick up another win on this road trip. Evan Longoria on the first pitch lifts it foul, 1 strike. Longoria got a changeup that floated over the inner half of the plate, and he clobbered it to left for his 24th home run of the year. His 6th home run this year against the Twins in the 4-game series at Target Field in June. He had 5 home runs. He did to the Twins what Max Kepler did to the Indians. 0-2. And now a base hit to left. And Santana with the retrieve, a leadoff single for Evan Longoria. Time for tonight's timeless moment presented by Coors Banquet. On this date in 1969. In an alley behind a Detroit bar, Twins manager Billy Martin intervenes in a scuffle between his starting pitcher Dave Boswell and outfielder Bob Allison. And the right-hander Boswell was knocked unconscious. He took 20 stitches after being beaten up by his manager. Although he'll miss several starts because of the incident, the 24-year-old Maryland native will finish the season 20-12 for the Twins and then be a fantasy camp legend for many years after that.
Yes,
we miss Dave Boswell very much.
Yes, we do.
Barrios sent out there for the 6th. He gives up a leadoff hit, and now he leaves. in tonight's start. 5 innings plus 3 earned runs allowed. And Berríos is taken out after pitching to Longoria. And now Buddy Boshears will face left-hander Brad Miller.
Yeah, Buddy worked on Wednesday in Cleveland. 1 shutout inning in the Twins' 13-5 win, making his 22nd relief appearance.
Might be 2. They get 1. Safe at first. Miller beat the relay. 1 away.
Yeah, Miller got jammed a little bit. That ball kind of slowly got to Dozier. They did the best they could on the middle infield. I think they're going to review that call at first. Take a look at it of Miller. Is he safer out at first?
Paul Mahler looking to Joe Vavra, who's in communication with Sean Harlan.
A quick flip by there by Dozier. Escobar getting it over there the quickest he could. A bang bang play.
And there'll be no challenge. Franklin 0 for 2. He's a switch hitter. I don't know that Berríos was taken out because he gave up a base hit. I think he was sent out to try to get Longoria out, and then he was going to be taken out whether he got him out or not, with the left-hander up, the switch hitter, another left-hander Dickerson in the on-deck circle.
Now Franklin is a right-handed hitter, hitting only .212.
Runner goes, stumbles a little bit. Suzuki's throw not in time.
Yeah, Miller got a great jump right there off of Boshears. So Miller steals his 5th base of the year in 9 attempts. Went on first movement. Head first slide gets him to second base. 2nd stolen base in the ball game for the Rays.
I thought he stumbled a little bit about the 2nd or 3rd stride, but he was in easily with a stolen base. Here's Franklin with a 1-1 count now, and a man in scoring position. Checked his swing. 2-1. A strike called. 1-2. Well, Franklin started his swing and then bailed on the pitch, and the bat went through the hitting zone, according to first base umpire Scott Berry. Suzuki's throw not in time. We saw Rajay Davis do this late in the game Thursday. Steal second, then immediately steal third.
Well, see the high leg kick of Boshears, and Miller read it perfectly.
Just 6 on the year, 2 of them in rapid fire succession. Twins have to bring the infield in now. 2-2 to Franklin. To short. They'll come home. Safe at the plate. And Kurt Suzuki says we better take a look at that. Miller showing off his speed and stealing second and third. And Phil Cuzzy called him safe, so there needs to be overwhelming evidence, visual evidence, that Suzuki got the tag on him. Kurt thinks he does.
Right. Well, ball hit to the left a little bit. Escobar gets behind him. It's a good throw.
There will be no challenge. A run will score.
Yeah, Kurt got him on the back end, but looked like the left foot got on the plate first.
Kind of like that run I think it was in the 7th inning Thursday. Now it turned out to be a 9-2 ball game because of what happened, but that was a very costly run that Rajai Davis stole for the Indians. Now base hit to right, and Franklin will hold up at second base. Well, the Rays still aren't done here in the 6th. First and second, one down. September 9th is University of St. Thomas night at Target Field. A limited number of St. Thomas theme night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket and purple and gray Twins cap. You can learn more at twinsbaseball.com/St. Thomas or call 800-33-TWINS. Well, Boshears came in to face the middle of the Rays lineup. He got an out, but they scored a run while he was on the mound, and now 2 runners are on base, and Trevor May will pitch next. Slam dinner benefiting Boys and Girls Clubs of the Twin Cities next Sunday, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow at Capitol Grill in downtown Minneapolis. Join Brian and Renee Dozier for a 4-course meal served by your favorite Twins players. You can visit foxsportsnorth.com, click on upcoming events for details.
Well, Trevor May coming into the ballgame making his 43rd relief appearance. He worked 3 times in that Cleveland series, 3 shutout innings, 1 inning apiece.
Souza, first man he'll face, a half swing and a strike. And Souza wasn't convinced he went. Confirmed the fact that Scott Berry called it strike 1. Better check, 1-1. Wondering why games are a little bit longer this year than they were last year. I think we just saw why. More and more hitters are doing what Souza did. Stepping out of the box, which was a point of emphasis last year. Swinging a foul. Now it's a different deal with a foul ball. You got to put a new ball in play. And I'm not picking on Souza, but hitters are doing pretty much what they're doing that and tightening the batting gloves and stepping out of the box, when last year they said, hey, keep a foot in the box, let's keep things moving along.
Yeah, it's up to the umpire to take control of that if they feel that hitter is taking a little bit too long. Oh, nice stop. Wow.
And advancing to third regardless, Franklin scampers to third.
What a stop by Suzuki, but Franklin got a good read on that ball that landed about 5 feet in front of home plate.
It's Trevor May's 9th wild pitch this year.
Yeah, look at that, where that ball ended up. Kurt utilizing the chest protector and the ball. He has to go out in front of home plate. But Franklin, credit him, he got a great read on that. And he advances on the wild pitch.
2-2 to Souza. 5 times. Trevor's wild pitch with a runner at third. Hacked foul. Twins got one in the top of this inning. They've already given one back, and the Rays are looking for more.
We'll need a strikeout here. May can pick up strikeouts.
Very high. It's a full count.
58 strikeouts in 41 1/3 innings.
And only 14 walks, one of those intentional. Runner at first goes foul back. You look at his numbers and you look at a high ERA, and then you realize what his profession is, what his job is. In a relief role, you can have 1 or 2 bad innings and your ERA will never recover. All the other numbers are pretty solid for Trevor.
He had that recently. I mean, if you go back to the late July, he had that one outing against Boston where he gave up 4 runs in 2 innings.
Yep. Runner at first goes again, and it's ball 4. I expect May to issue a lot of walks, but now they're loaded up with 1 down, and a big at bat here now for Beckham. Paul Molitor giving signs to the infielders where to go in the event they get a ground ball.
He threw 8 pitches to Souza. He threw 2 breaking balls, and both of them in the dirt. The first one about 5 foot in front, and that last one down low.
And if he was paying attention, Beckham should have noted that. Bases loaded, 1 down.
It looked dead red. Fastball
on the outside corner at 95. We haven't seen May throw many 95-mile-per-hour pitches. He's tried to shorten his stride and improve his command, and in the process has lost a tick off his fastball perhaps. That's a heck of a stop.
Yeah, another good stop by Kurt Suzuki. That's a 3rd breaking ball that May really hasn't even had close to the plate. Did everything he could to deaden that ball. Now, if you're the catcher, do you put down curveball again?
Well, just
got a piece of Kurt's right hand.
The magnitude of that block. If May can get a ground ball here, get a double play, or somehow weave the Twins out of this inning with no more damage done, it'll be because of the blocks of Kurt Suzuki. And another one blocked. Here comes the runner, and May puts the glove down and missed him, and now they're calling safe. Phil Cuzzy at first ruled, I believe, that Franklin had not touched the plate, and then finally he did give the safe call. And there's Joe Vavra immediately on the phone. The other runner stayed put.
Another breaking ball. Kurt did everything he could. May get the ball.
And Franklin sold it to the umpire, but did he slap his hand on home plate? Yes. That's a good slide by Franklin. So 2 wild pitches by May in his 6th of the year with a runner at third.
Well, take another look. Did May touch him right there? On the left hand or arm. It's hard to tell right there.
Well, the Twins aren't challenging.
What a great slide if he did not touch him by Franklin.
And Franklin showing off his speed and aggressiveness. And now the runner's going to double steal, and the pitch popped up. Escobar. Infield fly rule is called. 2 away. A couple of weird runs. The Twins had the infield in with a runner at third. A ball hit right to the shortstop, but Miller scores because he runs well. And then Franklin scampers home on a wild pitch that was no more than 15, 18 feet away from home plate.
Well, this will probably give us a better angle. Does he touch him? No, it didn't look like he touched him, but again, I mean, watch Franklin. Boom, boom. At the corner of the plate.
Pop back. Out of play, 1 strike. So now it's 5-1. Twins are on their 3rd pitcher this inning. Wilson hit a home run just inside the fair pole down the left field line his last time up. Now he hooks one foul.
Yeah, Wilson doesn't hit a lot of home runs. That's only his 13th career home run, his last at bat.
But his 4th this year for perhaps, what, 4 different teams.
Right.
2 strikes. Upstairs with a fastball. Strike 3 on a fastball, but a couple of wild pitches, a couple of stolen bases, a couple of hits, and as it turns out, a couple of runs. The game, and the Twins have been behind all night long.
Yeah, well, first run driven in on an infield base hit by Brad Miller made it a 1-0 ball game. Then in the 3rd inning, Evan Longoria hits his 24th home run. It's a 2-0 lead for the Rays. A couple innings later, Bobby Wilson getting a 3-1 fastball inside. 3-0 Rays. Joe Mauer, RBI, infield, out. Scores Suzuki. Now it's a 3-1 ball game, but 2 runs added by the Rays in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Nice slide there by Franklin, the 2nd run of the inning. The Twins won't hand Chris Archer his 16th loss of the year. He may end up picking up the win if the bullpen can hold the lead. First guy out of the bullpen is Cedeno.
Yeah, Cedeno making his 44th relief appearance. 33 strikeouts in 34 innings.
So much for that.
Yeah, he's greeted Rosario, who seems to like that first pitch, jumped right on that. He got a base hit.
He might not have seen the ball sail in front of his nose, but he felt it and heard it. First pitch whistled up the middle, a base hit, and now Eduardo Escobar will hit right-handed. Escobar 0 for 2 against Archer, hitting left-handed. Outside, ball 1. Twins teed off against the Rays bullpen last night. Now they'll hope for another good final few innings here to try to jump back into this game. At the knees, a strike, 1-1. Escobar a switch hitter, Polanco a switch hitter in the on deck circle. Just missed 2-1. And now 2-2.
Hard breaking ball right there, down in the strike zone.
Two and 2 to the Twins shortstop. Came inside and got a swinging strike 3. One away. Join us on Monday, September 5th against the Royals for Eduardo Escobar and Friends Labor Day celebration benefiting Venezuelan youth. The special ticket package includes tickets on the Budweiser roof deck, a post-game meet and greet with Eduardo Escobar and some other Twins players. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com/Escobar or call 800-33-TWINS. Here is Polanco, a single and 2 trips. Foul behind Gene Glenn. Former Twin Kevin Jepson warming up. Drilled to center. Kiermaier going back and over. 2 down. Pretty well hit ball by Polanco, but it's out number 2, and that'll bring up Suzuki. Suzuki drew a leadoff walk in the 6th and eventually came around to score the only Twins run so far. Pitch is up, ball 1. Twins have been held to just 4 hits tonight.
Chris Archer worked the first 6 innings, only allowed 3 hits, 1 run, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts.
And now a strike. Throughout the Cleveland series, it basically made a little difference where an inning started. Twins were able to get some productive innings whether it was the top of the lineup, bottom of the lineup, people were getting on base, getting extra base hits. And now a leadoff single by Rosario, but 2 outs later, Suzuki trying to keep the inning alive. Fouled back 2-2. Sano has struck out 3 times tonight. Hoping for another chance, which he should get. Anthony Suzuki knew it. And Cedeno gives up the leadoff hit, but then gets the next 3 batters. Now for greater coverage of baseball presented by T-Mobile, look around the majors. Adrian Gonzalez with his 9th 3-hit game of the season. Mike Napoli keeps pounding home runs, and the Indians won a big ball game in New York. Jake Arrieta back in the win column, his 13th win of the year, 68th win of the year for the Cubs. And we'll do this tomorrow, and I would imagine one of our items we'll be covering is a news conference scheduled tomorrow by the Yankees at 11 in the morning regarding Alex Rodriguez. Of course, it was just yesterday that Mark Teixeira announced that this would be his last year and he would retire at the end of the season. And a little bit different situation with Rodriguez because he's under contract through next year.
Man, Rodriguez just having a terrible year, so
and not playing now. He's right. You know, it might be just that there'll be another retirement announcement, only immediate, but we'll see. Trevor May out there to start the 7th inning, and there's a strike. 0-2 to Logan Forsythe. Forsythe, Kiermaier, and Longoria. May had a rough entry into the game in the 6th inning. He walked the first man he faced, then uncorked a couple of wild pitches. Of course, a year ago, he and Kevin Jepson and Casey Fiend were part of a really good bullpen for the Twins. Glenn Perkins was sidelined by this time last year, and Jepson picked up the slack as the closer, and May and Fiend did a nice job filling in for Jepson in a setup role. Fouled away.
Yeah, May last year out of the bullpen, 4-1, 2.87 ERA and 32 relief appearances.
Twins acquired Jepson just over a year ago from the Rays. 2-2 to Forsythe.
Well, Suzuki wants that curveball. Can May get it over? And he does. It's pounded foul.
Still 2-2.
So even though as a catcher you're getting beat up by that curveball, you still want to go back to it. Now a little pinky fastball away. And it's low away.
Full count to the leadoff man here in the 7th. To right field and deep. Kepler back at the wall. Gone. Forsythe hitting his 11th of the year.
That 3rd home run here tonight for the Rays. 7th home run that May has allowed. And for Forsythe, his 11th home run of the year.
Fox Tracks presented by Carrier.
Yeah, 3-2 fastball. Yeah, Forsythe taking it the other way. And Kepler running out of room.
And now Kiermaier. You know, we've talked quite a bit lately about the Twins home run pace in terms of home runs hit, but that now is the 152nd home run they've allowed. And the Twins are, as we've said, perhaps going to hit 200 home runs this year. Gives you some idea of how many they're going to allow if that other pace keeps going.
Yeah, they've hit 139 now. Let you mention 152. Excuse me. They've hit 131. They've hit up 152.
Michael Tonkin getting loose out in the Twins bullpen.
Yeah, for the Rays, they have hit 142 home runs now.
Start of the year, they were among the most powerful lineups in baseball. Nobody could figure out why, because you know they don't have a lineup full of established home run hitters, but they were hitting a lot of them. 1-2 to Kiermaier.
Kiermaier just looking to make contact. He has struck out 3 straight times. Oh boy, and that got another piece of that right hand of Suzuki.
Even before the beating that he's taken tonight, we expected Centeno to catch tomorrow. Oh, right off the wrist.
Well, you know, some catchers are kind of taught to throw that hand behind their back with nobody in runners in scoring position. And Suzuki had that exposed.
2-2. 29 pitches for May.
Yeah, he's been all over the place. Well, he had 3 great outings in Cleveland. May did. He worked 3 shutout innings, had 6 strikeouts. But here tonight, just struggling with everything he's trying to throw up there.
That's to center. 1 away.
Well, this copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
Longoria with a couple of hits, including a home run, his 6th of the season against the Twins. One and 0. Another breaking ball in the dirt. 3-0. One's with Tonkin standing on the bullpen mound out there, and I think we are going to have an imminent pitching change here.
Yeah, May really struggling.
Down the middle, a strike. Put him aboard.
Yeah, we'll see what they do. And here comes Paul Molitor. Just not the night for Trevor May. Really first bad outing since that outing at Fenway Park. Other than that, he has been pitching great out of that bullpen.
Talk so much about Jose Barrios and his lack of command, but Trevor May really fighting it in his outing here tonight.
And he's not happy.
2 walks, wild pitches, a home run, a lot of long counts, and Tonkin will try to get the Twins off the field here in the 7th inning.
Yourself up, and May doing that right there, pulling his hair, just shaking. It was not a good day for Trevor May. And Michael Tonkin coming in for the 48th time. He kind of had one of those outings the other day in Cleveland where he worked only 2/3 of the inning. He gave up 3 runs, a walk. Remember the 2 stolen bases against him, the wild pitch scored Davis. Then he gave up the 2-run home run to Lindor.
Batter is Miller. Swing and a foul, 1 strike. Miller was the first man Buddy Boshears faced, and on the first pitch he had a slow 2-hopper to Dozier. Miller's speed beat out the double play, and then his speed allowed him to steal second and third and score on a wild pitch, or excuse me, on the ground ball to short. Tall pop up to center. Rosario comes in, and that's out number 2. And that'll bring up Franklin.
You know, relievers are used so frequently now that you can't expect a reliever like Trevor May to be perfect every time out. You're going to have bumps in the road. And like I mentioned, Michael Tonkin had one of those bumps 2 days ago.
Franklin hit the ground ball to short. Escobar's throw home not quite in time to get Miller, who scored. Miller came in and he had to kind of almost go through the catcher and home plate because there was a bat lying there where you normally see runners slide 1-1. It was a more difficult slide than we gave him credit for at the time because the bat was lying right in the right-handed batter's box. 1-1. And 1-2. Two and two. Rays getting a run in the first, a run in the third, a run in the fifth, 2 in the sixth, and 1 so far here in the seventh. 6 runs on only 8 hits, but there have been walks, wild pitches, stolen bases.
And 3 home runs.
And 3 home runs. And now Tonkin has a full count with Franklin. Busted bat and a bouncer to second. And Dozier ends the inning. Tonkin gets the last 2 outs, but the Rays get another run on a Forsythe home run. The Rays have kept stretching out the lead from 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, 5-1, now 6-1. And Kevin Jepsen back with the Tampa Bay Rays will pitch to the Twins here in the 8th.
Yeah, Kevin really struggled with the Twins making his total, I mean, overall 43rd relief appearance.
Fastball off the plate, ball 1. Kevin, who was so good last year in an emergency situation, stepped into the closer's role and was brilliant. 10 saves in the last 2 months of the year, 28 innings, just 18 hits, an opponent batting average of 176. He gave up 1 home run with the Twins in 28 innings, and that came in his Twins debut. Only walked 7 and kept the Twins in the race after Glenn Perkins got hurt. And never really had command throughout the first 4 months of the season with the Twins.
Now you could almost see that he lost confidence. You know, Twins ended up releasing him back on July 11th. Then he signed back with the Rays 4 days later.
2-1. Bouncer right side, Beckham to the bag. Santana retired, 1 away. And Jepson signing with the Rays, where he was last year. He knows the people, he knows the pitching coach, the manager, all of that. But then saying too, you know, he's always been a better pitcher in the second half, and while we saw that after the Twins got him in the trade last year, so far the results have been pretty encouraging for the Rays.
Yeah, last year he had 46 relief appearances for the Rays, 2.81 ERA, had 5 saves out of their bullpen.
Here's Dozier
before getting traded over to the Twins.
Breaking ball up and in. And high and tight again.
And that's, I think, what we saw from Kevin when he was with the Twins, especially toward the end. That breaking ball, he just had no command of it. He's always had a good fastball.
So the Twins felt going into this year. Well, we've got something here with Jepson. We got something with Trevor May, and Glenn Perkins will be healthy.
Right.
Casey Fiend's been reliable. Perkins' health lasted about 72 hours. Jepson struggled from the get-go. Back just over our heads.
A lot of things over our heads.
2-2.
They did pick up 7 saves for the Twins in the 33 relief appearances for the Twins.
Drilled to center field. Kiermaier chasing it. Still chasing it. Leaps and makes the catch at the fence. Won a Gold Glove last year, in part because of his speed, and he needed some of it there to haul that line drive in.
Yeah, he can play some center field. Saw a great throw earlier in the ball game. That got Rosario at third base right here, showing off that speed, going straight back. 404 straightaway center here at Tropicana Field. And Kiermaier needed every foot of that to come down with this line drive that Dozier hit solidly straight up the middle. And Kiermaier shading him a little bit to left field. Makes a nice catch and then bangs into the wall, able to hold on to that ball. As Dozier went by, Jepson had some words for him.
2 down. And now Mauer, ball 1. Mauer's been held hitless, although he drove in a run with a ground ball his last time up. 1-1.
Jepson and Dozier.
Probably saying something about those first 2 breaking pitches that were under his chin. 1-1 to Mauer. 2-1. Three and 1. Kepler on deck.
I went with a fastball away, and Joe's such a good eye at the plate, off the plate, takes it for ball 3.
And Mauer takes a walk with 2 down in the 8th. And Kepler will come to the plate looking for his first hit indoors.
Number 26,
Kepler 0 for 2 with a walk. First walk that Jepson's issued since being signed by the Rays. Strike one. Jepson last year holding opponents to a 176 batting average, and while with the Twins it was almost double that this year. Opponents hit 317 against him.
Yeah, 42 hits allowed in 29 2/3 innings in a Twins uniform. 21 earned runs allowed.
Kepler swings and misses, and it's 1-2.
Good off-speed pitch there. Took something off the fastball, the changeup. Kepler way out front.
Right center, playable for Kiermaier. And cut off by Souza in right field. Kiermaier goes down.
What a ball hog.
2 down, or 3 down. Disappointing game for Paul Molitor, who saw the Twins play kind of a similar game, I guess, in the series finale in Cleveland. Came back with a nice game last night, but now down 6-1 going to the bottom of the 8th, and Michael Tonkin will face Dickerson, ball 1. Dickerson with a single his last time up. And now 2-0. And foul to the screen, 2-1. You look at the Rays lineup and you see Dickerson's got 15 home runs. Forsythe hit his 11th tonight. Longoria 24. Miller with 20. Souza with 11. Kind of like the Twins lineup in that, did that foul ball get a piece of Phil Cuzzy? The Twins lineup, might not have someone hitting 30 home runs this year, but a lot of guys up and down the lineup that are going to be in that 10 to 25 range. 2-2. Dickerson, Souza, and Beckham will hit against Tonkin. And a strikeout of Dickerson.
Yeah, good running fastball right there. Tonkin picking up a strikeout, his first. And again, Suzuki wanting that fastball in, but the ball tailed away. And Dickerson swinging at a pitch out of the strike zone.
Souza with a double, warning track fly ball, and a walk. And a base hit to right. And Souza will round first and hold up there. 2 hits tonight for Souza, and that'll bring up Beckham. Dylan Floro warming up. Rays have a very right-handed bullpen. The Twins have already seen the only lefty. Beckham 0 for 2 with a walk.
Yeah, they had another lefty out there, Eddie Romero, but he was put on a disabled list. Back strain.
Danny Farquhar added to the bullpen mix. 1-0. Double play grounder. Polanco, and Dozier doesn't handle the low throw. It was not a good throw by Polanco.
It's a play. It's a throw right there. I think Brian Dozier said, you know, he would admit he probably should have caught that ball. Never anticipate a good throw, and they give Brian Dozier the air. So Polanco gets that ball quickly, flips it over to Dozier. It was low, but Brian just mishandled it. He will get the air. That's his 6th of the year.
1 out, and now Bobby Wilson.
First error of the ball game for either side.
And Anthony's a strike. Third, they'll wave him around. Here's the throw to the plate, and that hits the runner and rolls to the on deck circle. And now another runner is going to try to score. Nope. And Beckham retreats to first, or to third. Now why Beckham claiming he Beckham claims he should be granted home plate.
Well, Wilson having a good night. A home run in his second at bat here drives in the second run of the ball game. And right there, the ball gets away, or actually hit the runner.
Yep.
That was Sosa, and then by the time Tonkin can get to it, little interference right there.
Escobar, I believe, was the yep. Escobar actually accidentally collided with him. Infield in now. And it's 7-1. Air charge to Rosario or Santana, I would imagine.
Yeah, on the throw home.
Yep. On the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Forsythe, the batter. Swing and a foul. 1-2.
They've not had an official ruling yet on that.
Well, there has to be an error to allow, unless they're saying the runners were going to go to second and third anyway, but I don't think they were. They only went and advanced after the throw hit the runner. And Forsythe strikes out. That's out number 2.
And second strikeout of the inning for Tonkin. Good fastball down and away.
Kiermaier's 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Popped up. Left side of the infield. And Escobar with the catch. An error in the inning and another run for the Rays as we go to the 9th. Not a good night for the Twins. Not a good night for Miguel Sano. He's struck out all 3 times tonight. And the Rays have a 7-1 lead. Twins won 3 out of 4 in Cleveland. Won the opener last night. Now they'll try to do something in the 9th inning against Dylan Floro.
Floro just getting called up, making his 9th appearance in his rookie season.
And he will face Sano, Rosario, and Escobar.
Floro getting called up on July 6th. Down in AAA. Was a closer for Durham. AAA for the Tampa Bay Rays. Had 7 saves in 30 relief appearances.
Sano's gone down swinging all 3 times tonight. Ball 1. 3 hits in 8 at-bats in the series, but 5 strikeouts. 2-0. Alex Colomé is their closer, and the Rays sure hope they don't have to bring him into the ball game here in the 9th inning.
Yeah, this game stays the way it is. It'll be Chris Archer getting his 6th win of the year, and he'll move to 5-1 against the Twins with an ERA under 2.
Just off the tip of Forsythe's glove, and Sano gets a base hit. 4 for 9 in the series. Time now for What's Next, brought to you by CenturyLink. And Matt Andriese will go for the Rays, and Kyle Gibson hoping to come up with a good start here to make up for what happened in Cleveland.
Yeah, that 8-0 lead, gave up 6 runs in the 5th.
And didn't get out of the innings,
Nope.
hence did not pick up his 4th win of the year.
And Andres put into that rotation that Matt Moore was traded to the Giants. That opened up a spot for him.
Kind of a swing man. Here's a ground ball towards second. And thrown into left field. And Sano will go to third, and Rosario will go to second. Forsythe tried to backhand it to Miller, and he flipped it instead into left field. The Twins, who did commit 2 errors in the bottom of the 8th, Santana was charged with an error on the play, the throw that hit the runner.
Well, they always say make sure you get 1 out. A quick flip right there. Almost that flipped right past Miller. So Forsythe getting an error, his 7th of the year. And the first error for the Rays. Puts runners at second and third with nobody out.
And now Escobar looking for his first hit. Check swing and a called strike. That's to left, right at the left fielder, Franklin. And Sano just bluffing. Throw well offline, but down 6 runs, no risks should be taken. 1 down. And that'll bring up Polanco. Polanco 1 for 3, and he just keeps on hitting. He did that when he was called up from A ball. And to use Paul Molitor's term, his bat plays up here. It's where he will play that is the question. Chance to drive in a couple here with a hit to the outfield. In the dirt, ball 1.
Flora with that sinking fastball.
A couple of years ago, Polanco was called up from Fort Myers. Got 6 at bats, 2 hits, a double and a triple.
Yeah, that in Arlington.
And then last year called up for 10 at bats, got 3 hits, all of them singles.
Polanco, just 23 years old, out of the Dominican Republic.
Two 2-0. Up the middle and a base hit. Polanco will drive in a pair of runs. Here's the throw from center field. And Polanco with a 2-run single, and it's 7-3.
Yeah, Rosario stumbled a little bit around third base, but able to score. So Polanco picking up his 2nd hit, now with 10 runs batted in. Taking that fastball right back up the middle. Rosario at second base. Sano scores. Rosario slowed up a little bit, only because of a little slippage, but ends up scoring.
Jim Hickey to the mound, Suzuki, and then Santana. And then Twins would love to turn the lineup over. You know, we're looking at Polanco being added to the roster. Twins with 12 pitchers, 13 position players, and 7 of them are from Latin American countries. And in today's game, positions 4, 5, 6, and 7. Sano, Rosario, Escobar, Polanco, all Latin ball players that have very high ceilings, or I guess with the exception of Escobar, all very young. And there's Santana, Centeno, Vargas, and there's Colomé starting to get loose. Suzuki with a walk, 0 for 2, a run scored. Getting started with a Sano single. or batter reaches, and it would be a save situation because the tying run would be in the on deck circle. We'll see if Suzuki can reach and force the Rays to bring in their closer. Driven foul over by the Rays bullpen. 0-2.
Now, Floro signed by the Rays out of Cal State Fullerton back in 2012. And Kurt Suzuki at the plate. Played his college bout out of Cal State Fullerton, but he signed by the Oakland A's back in 2004.
Outside 1-2.
Floro in the Rays system, always a starter. This year converted and put into the bullpen as a reliever.
You saw his numbers, and he's not making the transition easily. 16 hits, 10 1/3 innings, an opponent batting average of .364. And the Twins have touched him for a couple of hits here. Two and two. Might be a factor. Twins hope it will be, but they have a bench of Buxton, Vargas, and Grossman, so some flexibility here. If Suzuki reaches, Santana's spot in the batting order would not represent the tying run. Hey now, base hit right field, and Polanco checks in at second. Suzuki poking one past Beckham. And now it officially would be a save situation. And here comes Kevin Cash.
Good at bat by Suzuki. Fastball away. Just went with it. That's what he does so well. And Beckham, of course, holding on a runner, cuts down his range.
Well, Floro has a disappointing outing. The error didn't help, but the Twins starting to make a little noise here in the top of the ninth. Now have 3 of them in the 9th inning, and Alex Colomé didn't pitch in the All-Star game, but he was selected on merit. 26 out of 27 in save opportunities.
Yeah, he's did not have a save at all in his minor league career or his 3+ years with the Rays, but now the closer.
First and second, only 1 out. Santana's job, get on base and get Dozier to the plate, representing the tying run. Down and away, ball 1. All the numbers good, as you saw for Colomé. 39 1/3 innings, just 29 hits, only 4 home runs, only 12 walks, and 52 strikeouts. strike, 1-1.
Well, you've always said you don't know where that next closer is going to come from.
Yeah.
Bellamy, a guy that is basically a starter in the minor leagues for the Rays, started back in 2007 out of the Dominican Republic. 141 minor league saves, 145 games, only 4 relief appearances. Now the closer.
Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Straight over the top with the fastball and the breaking ball. Bellamy, 27 years old.
One and two to Santana. That's a foul ball. Got that Fernando Rodney look with his cap tilted sideways.
Not quite as bad.
Swing and a miss. And Santana is out number 2.
Hard breaking ball down and in, and Santana a strikeout victim.
Now Dozier will try to keep the game alive.
Watch the bite on this pitch right here. Straight over the top.
Dozier with a double in 4 trips. In his last at bat, he lined out to center fielder Kiermaier, who made the catch right before he crashed into the center field fence. Strike 1. Strike 2. Dozier extended his hitting streak to 15 games with his 6th inning double. Now he's trying to get Mauer to the plate. Double hit down on the dirt, and then either hit Dozier's foot or came up and hit his bat. I couldn't tell. To Brian Dozier. Wilson with a block. Ball between Gene Glenn and the line. When the Twins faced the Rays in Minnesota, they won the first game 6-4, but then lost by scores of 4-2, 7-4, 7-5. Held the Ray lineup in check last night, but there they are with 7 runs again. Another 1-2 to Brian Dozier. 2-2.
Another good block by Wilson.
There's your tying run. Joe Mauer in the on-deck circle. Pitch up and in, and Brian got a piece fouling it back. A high fly left center field. Franklin puts it away, and this series is tied at a game apiece.
Well, hey, Jose Barrios really struggled for 5+ innings. The bullpen struggled behind him. But Chris Archer again beats the Minnesota Twins. He's 5-1 lifetime against the Twins.
Tom Hanneman, the best the Twins can do is to finish this road trip with a 5-2 mark. They'll need a win tomorrow and a good outing from Kyle Gibson to get it done.